So my idea was to do a little video on Alexander walking, Alexander technique and walking. Alexander says to do 3 things every day, 5 minutes each. Start now. First one's a little hard to explain, but it's the main one. You do some kind of, you're working on some, you start out from here and you work your way down, but you're working on something. In the beginning, you work with your head and your shoulders. Later on, you're working with your back, your upper torso, and then your middle torso, and then your lower torso. Later on, maybe working with your arms, which helps your shoulders, and work with your legs, which helps your lower torso, and so forth. So you're working on something. You're doing a sort of an Alexander noticing, constructive thought, doing a movement, but doing it in a kind of through a gap, sort of, or whatever. You saw there was no gap. Interesting. You saw a gap and something that new happened when you moved. Interesting. Whatever. And you notice. Those are kind of. Then we went through this breathing thing. With my last series, I did 9 videos. It was really 3 different topics. It was 3 talks in one. But the first one you could say was Alexander and breathing. Right? So the third thing is walking. You know, might be easier to video me giving a lesson to somebody else. Might be more instructive for this in a way, but I don't have a microphone and just all hooked up yet. I haven't figured out how to do all that stuff. So in any case, maybe the best place to start is to talk about it and then we'll do it. Or I might get up here and do a little bit of walking around, I don't know. But I'm just going to talk about it. So Alexander walking, but it has a lot of implications for Buddhist walking meditation. There's this slow walking thing. It's very connected to me with Tai Chih, which I teach, or Tai Chi Chuan. Very connected with that, very connected with Qigong. Also, I talk about. And it's the whole sort. I got a bunch of stuff on, that kind of stuff already. So it's related. You can check that out. It also kind of ties into my macrobiotics study. Macrobiotics says for your health, there's like 10 principles, or probably more than that, but you can start with 10 principles. One of those principles being every day, take a walk or do something you enjoy outdoors for 30 minutes. Probably walking, or at least part of it might be walking. And it's more than it's all the exercise you need for your health. That's all the exercise you need for your health. Any more may be unbalanced in a way, or whatever. That's just what macrobiotics teaches. You can overdo exercise. That's enough. You can do more if you love it. Do more if you love it. But do at least that. And do at least that no matter, even if you're doing stuff you love. You go to the gym all the time, that's something else. It's not this, what's good for your health. What's good for your health is doing this almost like a meditation. Going outdoors, taking a little walk in nature, so to speak. It's more than just the exercise aspect. So it ties into this in a way. Favorite thing for me to do in my whole life is every day take a 30-minute walk outdoors or a 15-minute walk outdoors. Most people, when they're walking, they're in a hurry, or they have a goal in mind. When Alexander walking or some of these other techniques, there's no goal, no hurry, no reason to be in a hurry. I say, here's my happy place is when I'm walking really as slow as I can walk. And sometimes some of these practices you can do really slow. I mean, certainly slow. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just, the slower I go, the happier I am with this. So just keep in mind, it's like you're trying to do the opposite of getting somewhere, the opposite of being in a hurry. What we do in Alexander is we make the whole production about how is my neck, how is my neck affecting my head, tension in my neck affecting my head, how is we just think this letting go or this, we just say to ourselves, my head goes toward ease, and see what happens. We notice how our head and neck are doing. We say to ourselves, my head goes toward ease. So the only point of this walk is to let the head go toward ease and see what happens. That's the only point. The slower we go, the easier we're going to be able to accomplish that. Probably. Or whatever. There's a normal pace, and you can get probably too slow in a way for you to do things right, but the slower is usually better, generally speaking. So if you just do that, you're going to learn so much. It's beyond belief how much you're going to learn. Maybe it'll take you a little while to figure things out, but there's all kind of things, if a real Alexander technique lesson, the teacher in walking she's going to, number one, help you with your head, And then she's just going to notice. She's going to notice. She's going to notice. In a way, she's going to notice, a million things. Your Alexander teacher's going to, but one thing she might notice is how you just basically, it's like a spiral. Everything is like a spiral. This head thing is sort of like a spiral. You're either spiraling up and you're going one or two directions all the time. You're either spiraling toward freedom or you're crunching down toward suffering, maybe, or habits which don't lead to happiness. Bad habits is, but just habits in general. You're just not producing freedom with every step. You're producing something else. You're producing some action to get somewhere that you think's going to make you happy, and it turns out there's nothing but misery going that way. So, we've got a spiral here. There's kind of a spiral between the upper and lower body, so if you do get slow enough, you can kind of get into this possibility connecting to that whole, things are sort of connected. And right now, maybe they're not. There's a lot of things I talk about in walking meditation. And I do this whole thing with bend the knees, and maybe bending the knees is extreme view or something. But the big extreme view is locking the knees at any point in time in your life. Never in your life ever do you want to lock your knees. That is the bad extreme, or that's the extreme. I tell you to sink down. We do this in Tai Chi. I'll do this a little bit Qigong. Tai Chi is kind of, I just practice. And it's helping, but it's not exactly. If I were going to tell you exactly what it is, it's not being locked in the knees. There is a little bit of the knees. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. And then there's some kind of thing that happens. Well, it happens everywhere. You may be better off working with the arms, getting the arms going, the shoulders, the head. But maybe it's very advanced. What I'm working on, my advanced, where I'm at now is like, there's a structure to things. But walking, your legs are important. There's a structure to your legs. What I really want to do is get this sound foundation of my lower legs. Right now, I'm collapsing my ankles. So I want to get my feet straight in a way, but That's not a perfect way to say it. But just, what you want to do is, those two legs have a spiral. You want to let those two legs kind of spiral this way as you walk around, which is unspiraling the tension you spiraled already. So you just let those legs unspiral, and that'll bring this structure I'm talking about. And that just, all of a sudden, when you get in that structure, the earth is like this giant supporter of yours. Just from the earth comes up the support, and all of a sudden, man, you're locked and loaded a little bit. Usually when we're taking walks in meditation in Alexander, one of the easiest things to do is to let your knee be long. People have a tendency to walk around sort of like the keep on trucking poster. They're leaning back. And everything's in a way about leaning back. You're sitting, standing, walking, even lying down, pressing. You just want a little forward orientation to your upper body. In Alexander, we talk about monkey. We say, get like a monkey. If you get like a monkey, you're not far off. Right now, we're far off. But when we're acting like a monkey, we are not far off. We are closer. Helps everything. So get like a monkey. Let your body get a little forward. Let a little swing, swing, swing. Let that knee, you just throw that knee out there. But you catch up to it quick. You don't throw it out there and then hang back. You throw it out there, but then when it lands, you're ready. And you're not behind when it lands. But you know what? When you throw it out there, you're lost in space. Then you just get there quick. But let that be long. We got our legs crammed into our body. We got our head crammed into our body. We got our arms crammed into our body. We want to just let them uncram. Let everything uncram. Let that knee be long, uncram. Just see what happens. It's like a little kid learning how to walk. That's what you want to be. You want to be a little kid learning how to do everything. We're going to stop and probably do it again.